I'll let him know. Here we go. Welcome back. Sorry, a little bit of mic issues there. Welcome back to the Golden Cat podcast. The finale, the grand finale of the podcast, as we just went through all the grand finals from North America and EU. I'm Sandblast. I'm obviously joined by the same marmaloo and the same God production expert genius himself, Dolphin. How we all doing tonight? What's going on?
Doing good. Just watched the grands for EU. It was a little bit anticlimactic at the end, but
I was at work. I was kind of pissed I didn't see it because I saw that they took map one. I peeked on it on my phone and I saw that Nerd Rage took map one. I was like, oh shit, this is good because I know they had a. I didn't really follow much you, but I knew they had a really bad start to the season, like awful. But they ended up coming back and taking the whole dub. So that was pretty cool. But we'll talk about that a little later. Not really much in terms of news. Obviously, we saw that match fixing rule that happened with the Div 2 players were throwing to like cheat that one team out of playoffs, and they all kind of got like banned. I think it was that Plump Wench team. Looking at the article.
yeah, I've read it a bit earlier, but I do not know all of it off the top of my head to say it. But if you want to know more about it, it's clarified in an article on RGL's website. So if you want to know if you're going to get banned for throwing or not, go look at that.
Yeah, Daffodil and Exa did a pretty good job saying, what is throwing by RGL standards and what isn't throwing. So if you want to unironically run heavy, you should probably let an admin know so they do not ban you. I know there is a main team that does actually choose random every single life besides medic. I rang for one of their matches. It was a great time. They ran heavy sniper. Their classes are all messed up. It was so funny.
Sounds like a great time. But there's the Highlander lower bracket final tomorrow.
Mhm.
Not quite. You're not in that, right?
Oh, I'm in it,
Oh,
baby.
you're in it.
Oh,
You're
I'm in
playing.
it. I'm playing
Are
the
you
best
playing?
team, KND or
Oh,
the
you're
the
playing
crust.
against the Jarrett team, right?
Yeah, I'm playing against Jared's team,
Ooh,
so that'll be
okay,
fun.
okay.
You could see my POV of either happiness or sadness, whatever my team's environment's looking like that day. I usually kind of just fit in. Hopefully, we're all happy going into tomorrow, but hopefully we don't lose. That's my goals to hopefully win. But if we don't win, hey man, it happens.
Okay, so if you didn't know, all of RGL 6's has been wrapped up, every single div. Let's go from the bottom to the top. So newcomer, the winner is Sweaty Spaghetti,
Let's go, dude.
who
I have my
beat
money on them.
in a bunch of letters. ZXCV. They won. I don't know who they are. Sorry, but congrats. You come in your first season, you win it. That's a good way to start off your TF2 career, I guess you could say.
Yeah, man, got a dub, and this is actually pretty cool. I think this is one of the next amateur win. Battle Scarred Idiots versus Momo Simps. And I think that this is the only one of the very few teams. I think there's only one other team that actually upset their seed. Actually, no, there's three rather.
No,
I
they
saw
yeah
that
they
from there's other teams that weren't number
well
one
they
and won.
also were higher seed, but
They were, yeah. And so one of the few that weren't the number one seed besides obviously your most recent
yeah,
win
I
for
am
champions.
still don't know any of these teams. 7 goal rolling 90 halal crips. Seven
These
goal 1-2-0.
I
So
watched
far,
the
no
game.
one has gotten a map.
Yeah, it's a little rough out here.
And actually, looking at this, no one got a map besides the winner in any of
Exactly.
these
Yeah.
matchups. So 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. But
Gotcha. Okay. But then you have the main Scooby Snacks versus family friendly content. I was told that Scooby Snacks was like a titan of the main division and no one was going to beat them, and they got beat up by family friendly content. So good stuff to them making the upset, third seed to first seed. That's pretty good. And then Div 2, you have Cat Posse at sixth seed, and it looks like Milky's had to win. Milky's came from actually lower bracket to win two best of threes.
oh wait, they
That
did bracket resets in that div. Okay,
Yeah, I think there was only 8 teams. That's why they were doing it. There wasn't a 16 team playoff, so I think that they were running double best of 3 instead of the map advantage.
Oh no, it was map. Unless I'm wrong, it was map ad, and they just had to win 3 maps. Well, so the Milk won
Maybe.
first map 5-4, CP or Cat Posse won 5-0 the second map, and then Milk won 4-3, and then they won the last map 5-1. So yeah,
Beast.
congrats to them. And Div 1, Mofu March versus Destructive Criticism. I did
A
not watch this,
heartbreak.
but
A heartbreak.
I think we both said Dippy's
We
team would probably
we
win,
both
right?
said Deputy's team win just because
I
they're
think
more
we both
similar,
wanted
yeah.
the Sin Karma team to win because that'd be
It would
that's a
just be
great
so funny.
narrative.
It would
But
be. It's so funny.
I hope both these teams play Invite next season. You know, Sin Karma, big fan.
I don't. Yeah, I got my eye on him next season if he's playing. You know, I'd love to see how his development as a player jumps up in the invite bracket. But last but not least, obviously, Froyo Tech Ascent. Obviously, Froyo won in a pretty dominant fashion. It wasn't like how we were expecting it to look towards the end. I think, but Jay obviously we said he was the MVP of Froyo Tech. I know you guys were watching. I was saying Jay was probably gonna do big things and continue to bring the spoon to life in the grand final. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but just overall, to be honest, I kind of expect that in the grand, but I wanted to cheer on my boys, but they didn't win, unfortunately. But since I don't think there's anything else we have to recap there, so at the beginning of the season we did power rankings where we ranked every invite team, and now we're gonna recap in the order from bottom team to top team. So we're gonna start out with Ashi.
Yeah, I mean, Ashi, this is the reformed of Ashi, not the OG one, to not get anyone confused if you've been following all of Invite. Ashi, kind of came out of nowhere as just a team that was gonna just try and help save Invite, make the game or make the season a little bit more competitive. And they actually did. Believe it or not, they took a game off, microwave. They were keeping it close with Black Swan. They were doing pretty good in scrims versus Mal and Dorcia for the most part when they were playing. Like this team just wasn't, that move up team. They actually did pretty good. Like you couldn't sleep on them. And it was pretty awesome seeing them play, pretty much a whole team of just new invite players minus like Dingo was pretty refreshing to see. And, they actually cared for the most part. Most of them are LFT for next season, which is really nice to see. And even though they, didn't place as well, they went 2-10 to end the season. At the end of the day, they played really good for what it was.
Yeah, like you said, they're 2 wins, 5 fours. So they had a lot of interesting matches, to be honest. They made like the lower invite a lot more interesting. I'd honestly put the 3 bottom teams around the same level, but you can't have everyone in the same spot. But like you said, a lot of players that I don't think people really expected to really do as well as they did or show themselves, because I think
Yeah.
Esper, Legit, Alex, and Bull, maybe not Bull, because I kind of expected this from Bull,
Yeah, I
but
feel like
everybody
they did pretty good.
really kind of showed their value. And I think they should get a spot next season if they want to play invite. But yeah, definitely showed themselves how good they are. Next team we got, I think, yeah, it was Dexter's Lab, a team that I think, so you put last, I put second to last in this season for the power rankings.
Yeah, it was rough. The whole like round loss, round win different. Like that's how close it was. It came down to like round wins and round losses between these two teams based on the seeding.
Yeah, so yeah, overall this is an experienced team, group of friends. They come back this season. They almost beat Microwave in that game. They beat, what was the team name before Dorcia? Was it 100 Beast or something? I forget what it was. But that wasn't
Team Avatar. Team
no,
Avatar
that wasn't Team Avatar.
no,
That was the Alex.exe Ash Yite
oh yeah,
team.
that was the old 100B team.
Yeah, whatever their team name was. They beat 100B and then prompted that team to die. And then they also beat Ashi, which were their 2 wins. And they looked really good at the start of the season. They beat a team I think everybody thought would be probably 3rd seed, right? Because they got 2nd last season. And then instantly 4-3 upset. Although it's a very different team that had to get a couple new players, and they got a bunch of random people and didn't quite work out. They almost won. And then overall, end of the season, they almost beat Ashi again, but just couldn't really pull it through.
Yeah, man. I mean, my next one. I mean, I know we're on the microwave now, so here's uh here's the thing with them. I mean, I think me and you both agree that they had a pretty underwhelming season, and I think that I'm happy that Chunky was able to play in their playoff games because I really feel like he was kind of the player that kind of stuck out from the rest towards the later half of the season. Same with like Rakusa. But I feel like that, if this team does want to play next season, I understand it's probably more of like a friend team and, wanting to, just relax and play with friends. But if you're scrimming 5 days a week, I feel like you still want to do better than 3-9, especially with the players who are on that team and how long they've been playing. Like Shamu's been around in invite since like season 20, like 2 or something like that back in ESCA. And then like Rakuso's been around since like the Yomi era back in the day. I feel like that none of those players are happy with, with 3-9. I feel like they're always, have the mindsets on playoff contention. And I feel like they should just, try and either practice more or like try to, refine their, find players who can help refine their play styles better. Cause I just feel like the core of players isn't working out for them. Like I feel like their play styles just don't kind of mesh well with each other. Maybe personality wise, yeah, but when it comes to like in the game, I feel like they're just lacking a lot of things a lot of the time. And maybe, Hayes stepped up a lot towards the later half, towards the entire season. I feel like Hayes was one of their best players at the end of the day, which was shocking for me to think because he's more of like an invite rookie when you have players like Shamu and Sky and all of them who have had multiple seasons. But hopefully next season if they play, maybe they edit the roster a little bit, take it a little bit more serious if they weren't. But I definitely want to see them further in the race for playoff contention. Maybe give Dorsey and Mal a little bit more of a run for their money than more of just a hey, we're fifth seed team.
Yeah, looking at their overall season, they got 5-0'd a lot.
Yeah, it was
They got
rough.
5-0'd once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times in the season. They got 5-1.
Out of
And
12 games.
that kind of sums it up because they really could not really fight with the playoff teams besides the 5-3 against Mal at the latter half of the season. But overall, the only close games were against their peers, I guess you could say, the other 3 teams near the bottom. And overall, like you said, very underwhelming start because, like you said, they lost to the new team of Ashi and then just beat by Mal, beat by Dorsia. And
Yeah.
then they beat Dexter's Lab at the end, but overall, they just couldn't really make it to the playoffs. The only team that had a chance to make it in the playoffs over Dorsia was Dexter's Lab, and them losing to Microwave kind of blew that up.
Yeah. I mean, I was hoping for a little bit more little bit more either not really effort. I feel like they did try just because, they were scrimming every single day throughout the week. But I just wish that maybe at the end of the day there was maybe just trying to get on the same page with each other because I feel like not a lot of the players on the team were comfortable in their roles at the end of the day.
I feel like that's a good way to like recap the entire season. People not on the right roles they're comfortable on because there's a couple teams that had that problem, like Dorsia sort of did, but it was less uncomfortable and unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah.
And Ascent also uncomfortable, and like we said, Microwave. And so next team, Dorsia on that team,
No
and
team.
that was a mess. So from what I've
How
known,
would you say your season was on that team? From
uh,
being a player, not the outcome, just like
I
like
wanted, I thought it was gonna be me playing demo, and then I think what happened is I think Yomps didn't really like how our soldiers synergy working, so I moved to soldier. We moved people around, and then after Yomps passed, everyone kind of didn't really want to play, understandably. So then it was kind of just we didn't want to play, and then I think Brand Slam kind of still did. So we're like, okay, I guess we'll finish out the season. There's a couple more weeks, but then Zilly and Yite both didn't want to play, so we had to find new players. Then we had to move people around a bunch, and then Zilly didn't want to play in the end, so we had to get Yite for the last couple of days, and it was just a mess. And overall, unfortunate season. Rest in peace, Yomps. All that.
true, yeah. I mean, happy that you guys still played out the season though, because I still feel like Brand Slam was like just like a huge potential factor. And it definitely felt like there was a lot of issues within the team, not like personally, just when it came to like roster swaps and finding the comfortability. But I mean, obviously not the outcome the boys probably wanted getting fourth, but at the end of the day, you guys made playoffs, which is always a great, it's still a good feeling at the end of the day. You got, you placed. It's always a good feeling to place, at least getting, a little bit of the payout. So, but
Yeah.
anyway, now we got the third place team. The dark horse of Invite, my
I don't know
analyst.
if I'd call them the dark
Well,
horse. I
at
if
the
you look at the
beginning,
power rankings, I
right.
thought they were.
No,
But
here's what I'm saying. What I mean by that is, Mal's always the sixth place team in history. This is
to be fair, they kind of
finally they're on
upgraded
13.
literally everything.
Oh, they did, yeah, they did.
Instead of having Tojo, I guess you would say, you get AIM. Instead of having Sapphrix, you get
You got
Psy.
Sai,
And then instead of having Azin, you have Bear. So you
Yeah.
kind of just you crank that team up to the next level. So I definitely would not say that the Mal of the past of sixth place. And I don't think this season is as strong where they'd get sixth place, because if anything, if it was old roster, they'd probably get fourth, maybe
Yeah,
fifth.
maybe.
But
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, I mean, they had a great season. I mean, the same group of players from Ford Gaming, in season two with some of the returning figures from Mao, kind of just proving that they can always kind of just play at that third place level, maybe contest for second depending on who plays next season, or, if Ascent's not looking good in one season. But glad to see that, a lot of the people that I still played with, and, a lot of the people from Mao, like Phelps, for example, who hasn't played for a really long time, are still able to play at that level of invite pretty confidently, which is good to see. They finished 8-4, not a bad record to finish on. Their only real major losses are coming from, I think, Ascent and Froyo.
Yeah, just the two teams above
So
them.
literally just the two
They had a
teams
couple
above them. So
close matches though. They had some close
yeah, they
against
did.
us. They had a close one against Microwave, I guess, the 5-3.
Mhm.
I think that's really it. They had a close loss versus Ascent on goalie, which is surprising. But overall, beat the teams they should have, lost teams they probably should have as well.
Exactly, and that's a good way to end the season. You never got upset, and you never really made a crazy upset. You kind of just did your job, which is good, placing third. So, moving on to Ascent, you can take that away, Mar.
The entire season, I wanted them to be first so bad. I didn't think it, using my head, I knew it probably wasn't going to happen, but there was a chance, and I believed, and I wanted to be that number one cheerleader in the stands. Even though at the end of the season, I really didn't believe it. But I wanted to keep it pushing, all the people, all these Ascent fans, all the people who want some other team to win an invite. I was trying to cheer for you, give you some light at the end of the tunnel, but overall, it's just not. I don't think that team was. It just wasn't a great fit, because bot mode didn't want to play soldier, so they kind of had to mess with that. But then High Five and Slemnish both kind of now combo scout. Slem could play flank, but it was kind of flipped at the end, because Slem definitely in the latter seasons, he really just showed how much he can do on combo scout, because it is a better, more influential role than flank. But I think the best fit probably would have been this current roster, what they have now, maybe with Laz and bot mode switch. But I feel like Laz and bot mode in this order really wasn't that much worse than if you flipped it the other way.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like both players are pretty comfortable in their role. Watching Laz play, he's still doing crazy jumps and making crazy individual plays, regardless of the class he was on or the role he was on. Same with bot mode. Both players kind of did their jobs respectively. And obviously, Ascent, a staple of the TF2 scene, kind of always been the rival to Froyo Tech, the second place team. Hopefully, depending on if the players stick around, I don't think. I think that some of them might be. I'm not too sure what's really going on. I would love to see Ascent play with, their best possible roster with the same group of six, assuming everyone stays together. But at the end of the day, a little bit of an off season to prepare, so maybe they got something cooking.
I don't think it's happening, but I may be
Yeah.
wrong. From what I've heard, I don't think that entire team is returning. But I've been out of the loop for a little
Probably
bit.
not.
But Overall impressive seasons from a couple of players. Like Campy had a good season, Lil Guy had a pretty good season, Slem had a pretty good season. Bot mode on Roamer was surprising. Laz did Laz things. High Five maybe a bit underwhelming on Combo Scout, but overall, it was a new roster against Froyo and Grands, and it just didn't look great, and they couldn't really get anything going.
Yeah. But speaking of Froyo and grand finals, let's talk about our champion season. I mean, it's not much to say about it besides the biggest change that happened was Yom stepped down and they picked up Jay, and Jay proved that he is one of the greatest soldiers who's ever probably played on Froyotech. I mean, if you saw what he did to an individual level, he did stuff that almost not a single other player who's ever played Pocket on Froyotech has ever done. Like he did some wild things with the market gardener just being a specific, just kind of like a kind of a unique different style of Pocket. He kind of brought like a different energy to Froyotech that I've seen and since I've been playing.
The thing is, not to take credit away from Jay, is he has a lot of space to do things because he doesn't really need to be the anchor pocket like some other teams see. He can be so free flowing, as you've seen how the Froyo soldiers play. As long as you're doing stuff together or just trying to make space for the rest of the team, you have a lot of freedom to do things. Because, for example, Jay didn't do stuff like Mark Gardner on Ascent because there's not nearly as much like room to try something as unorthodox. People probably wouldn't be too happy if you bomb in against Froyo and Banny just shoots you out of the sky while you have a melee weapon out. But playing on a team like Froyo, you definitely see a lot more innovation because you have more space to do things. Like Patty does some weird things. Like I've seen, like in the Grands, 3 different people win Sniper. Actually 4, I think. And then there's like a heavy. There's some weird things overall. And
Yeah.
expected result of the season, I had hopes there'd be a bit of parity. But overall, really good season from Froyo. They showed why they've been together for so long, or at least the core of players have been good together for so long, and why they continue to win.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're probably going to see this exact same Froyo roster going into next season unless someone steps down or they off class, depending on what's happening. But obviously, with Froyotech, strictly business at the end of the day. They're here to compete and they're here to get their dub. They're not missing scrims, and they'll do the same thing on land. Hopefully, once all this COVID stuff's over, maybe, people have been starting to doubt Froyotech a little bit. Oh, can they still come? Can they still beat, Europe's best players and stuff like that? Could they still beat Seven today? They've missed, Insomnia and all that. Obviously, I still think they absolutely still can, but I've
I
seen
think
some
the bigger problem
conversation.
is there's no 7 to beat, so
Exactly,
I
there's
don't
no
think there's
Seven
any
right now.
doubt.
Yeah, I mean, but there's been some people thinking that this current iteration of Froyo is like it would like have I don't know. I feel like they could probably just slam against any team in Europe right now that isn't Seven. But obviously Nerd Rage run. I would love to see Nerd Rage in a 5 ping server with Froyo Tech because I don't think there's a team that could even step foot. Because honestly, if you think about it, the second best team in Europe had some of the best North American players on it. So you can't even really take that team into account. At the end of the day, who could like compete with Froyo? But
Well, that
maybe
team
it
also
won't.
wouldn't play against Froyo because they do have a Froyo player, so I
True.
don't know how
Also,
exactly
well, yeah,
that'd
yeah.
work,
Jay,
but
yeah, Jay. Literally, I forgot. Yeah, Jay's literally on that team, and he's on
maybe you
Froyo.
just
But
duplicate him, get 2. But yeah,
get
I
a
don't
second Jay.
know if there's going to be a LAN at the end of this next season just because there's no vaccine yet and everything's still kind of a problem, but
Hmm.
the next season, maybe. But overall, next season I think is starting on the 1st of next month. So anybody that's trying to make a team, get your stuff together. I thought it started a lot later, but it didn't. So
Yeah,
if you want to
only
play
a
next
little baby
season,
off season.
get your LFTs, your LFPs in order.
Yeah, I mean, get your resumes out there, post on TFTV. If you're a new player, post on newbie mixes. Go to the Mumble, go to their Steam page, find a way to get into competitive TF2. It's not hard at all. If you're a new player and you don't know if you can compete, just literally find a team. It is not hard. There's a couple hundred people, probably a little over 1,000 in NA who want to like play competitive TF2. So it's very easy to just kind of load up TFTV, find a team that needs players, load up RGL's Discord, and get yourself going, man. Let's play some video games.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It does start on the 1st of September. So you got are there 30 days? Are the 30 days or 31 days? There's 31. So you got 15 days to try and get a team together and get ready for next season. But wrapping up that season overall, well, you know what? We have time. What do you think about the new maps? I think we both know what we think about one of them. But
I'm not even talking about that one. I'm
all
not
right.
wasting my breath.
So
I like
going
clear
into
cut.
next, okay, you like clear. I think Bagel's interesting. It's way different than clear cut and viaduct, which
Oh yeah, it's a
maybe
different type. It's a
people
different pace.
don't like, but I think it definitely is. It's more interesting because it makes another level to pick ban because it's like, do you want to let a map like Bagel, which is probably more of an upset potential map because it feels so much smaller just because the point is one area, there's the two sheds, and then you have soldiers flying around. You push the shed,
Mhm.
all that. And I honestly like those two maps, and I like having three Koths in the pool because Koth is definitely the most fun map to watch. Debatably play, some people don't like it. I love Koth, but watching Koth is definitely way more interesting than Sixes, where they're just stalemates a lot of times, and it provides a different game style as well.
Yeah. The reason why I just like Bagel, like as much as I do, because I think Bagel's a great map. Bagel, like I said, it's not like a traditional Koth map. The pacing is a lot different how fast the point caps. So it really rewards just teams just kind of like the defense, the team coming to the point to really kind of just play more aggressive than kind of just slowly edging the cap. Like you can cap that point like 3 seconds sometimes too, and like it really forces offensive like play. Like like as soon as they're about to edge the point, maybe you just Uber across point into them and try and catch the medic because their medic's gonna be close, probably healing the scout edging cap. It opens up a couple more plays that are out there. So I'm a little excited to see Bagel next season. If there is a map I want to see gone and maybe swap out, I think Villa is just not good. I didn't really play it much. I can't really talk about it. But watching it throughout the season from Div 1 to Invite, there is definitely just I feel like just fundamental flaws of that map where how big the doorways are. Like I was seeing teams walk in top right last without even popping Uber because it's just so free and how open it is. Like you could just walk in for free. There's not a lot of traps to clear on top right there. So I would love to see maybe that map kind of like get replaced out for something like Granary. I think Granary is a great map. I think Granary, switches up the combo. It stops, the combo scouts and flank scouts from having field days a lot of the time. I think that it enables soldiers more. That's a great map for something like for all the
I
people who
think
complain how
a
fluffy the
great
scout
idea,
is.
which I don't know if it's in lab, maybe next weekend, Map Cup. Get a couple maps together. Get
True.
get maps people have played in the past, or like Reckoner, Logjam. Please, someone make an
True.
attack. I want to see attack defense. I want to see if I just want to see
Stop.
it. It'd be so
Stop.
fun. It's so fun
Dude,
and
stop.
different. I don't want to see boring 5 CP. Playing this
All
season
right.
made me want to not want to play. It's so goddamn boring. But probably will never
Maybe.
happen.
I mean, honestly, I didn't play the attack defend era, but
Well, like
I heard
something
some.
new. I've learned
Don't bring back.
don't bring back old maps. They're gone for a reason most of the time. Get something new. Maybe probably not CTF. CTF
Nah,
would be fun, but I don't
dude,
know.
Turbine,
Seeing
Turbine Pro.
maybe not Turbine, but like give us something new. Maybe the thing that I do give to Villa is like you said, you can push through doors like very easily, which is it breaks how 5 CPs usually played, but it definitely is different in that department where you can dry a lot more, so it's harder to hold things where maybe you'll get more rounds played if both teams want to play it instead of it going to time more often. You may see it go to 5 faster where it's back and forth. Thing is, I never played it really. We played it a couple times, but no one wanted to play that map because the few times we did play it, negative fun.
Yeah, not a fan of Villa, but I'm hoping for maybe a map cut. Maybe if whatever the admins are organizing, maybe it's Daffodil, maybe it's Boxcar, whatever, invite admin or RGL, admin, not just a division admin, wants to run a cup. I'm sure, a couple, pro level teams will play in it. I'm sure you'll get some high Div 1 teams who want to play it, but definitely, I think The community was not. It seemed like no one really liked it
I
from what
think the
I
problem
from.
is how it was handled.
Yeah,
If you remember, the poll
yeah.
was which one of these new maps would you want to play, and people were upset that they didn't get a vote, including Granary and Badlands, because those were removed. Which
Mhm.
I think it was just a miscommunication of what people are expecting. But I think what they could do this season in the map cup is have a map cup with a bunch of new maps and say, we are putting in one of these new maps. We're going to remove one of the ones we added recently. Choose which new map you want. And if no one likes any of the new maps, just throw in Granary or something. The thing is,
Yeah.
Bagel isn't even played for the lower divs, so it's kind of weird because 9 maps doesn't work with the 8-week season. So I don't know how, because what they could do is just remove Villa and make it a universal 8, but it'd be kind of weird for pick ban at least.
Yeah. I mean, well, hopefully we get to see some sort of map cup. I wouldn't mind, grabbing a pug team, playing a couple rounds on some new maps. I always thought Logjam was a really cool map. Same thing with Reckoner. I would like to see how it would play in NA, or maybe the North American and like EU team or like communities can agree on like maybe a rule set to play on or a map pool to play on. So when the potential lands do come back, either early next year or maybe late this year if something happens, we're all on the same rule set. We can all play on, the same map. So we're all practicing the same thing at the end of the day. So that'd be cool to maybe see another, global whitelist thing where we can agree. Now that a lot of the items have been, rebalanced or just are straight up just awful, maybe we can actually have
Yeah, there's been a lot of
an
hard
actual
nerfs.
yeah, there's a lot of terrible guns in this game that just have zero impact and have no reason to be banned anymore. So maybe we'll have a chance to have a global whitelist and see see some sort of matching map pool, matching whitelist. The hardest thing's probably going to be the how we play our matches, where you play two halves, first to three, then it's first, then win limit 5, while EU just plays 2 30-minute maps. So it's going to be hard to kind of agree on a rule set like that. I know a lot of people actually really like the EU format, so I'm willing to try it, but I wouldn't mind both in all
I think it's
honesty.
gonna be hard because the thing is, 2 halves. It definitely usually the better team will win most of the time because it's such a long period of time, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
a lot less timeouts most of the time, or at least low scoring games. But the thing that is so good about the EU is you're not sitting there for an hour every game. The problem, fundamentally, at least I think, is you can time out a third of the clock if you really want. So that's really what helped Seven do so well, because there's not an auto, we're going to get back to a mid fight because there's a second half and you can't just sit there. And
Yeah.
it gets really slow, but on the other end, it doesn't make a grands with 5 maps be 5 hour long, 5 hours plus long potentially.
No, yeah, agreed. And in NA, it gives you more of a there's still, an issue of parking the bus, but there's still so much time. You get 2 30-minute halves, and even if you go down 3-0, you still have another 30 minutes to, come back, come back from that. And it's good to, I think the NA rule set's good just because it really encourages aggressive play, with how much time you have on the clock. So you can make a horrible mistake, but in an EU game, you could take that one risk, with 6 minutes left on the clock and lose the game off of it. But in NA, you have that 6 minutes in the first half, and then you have an entire second half to recoup from that. It's so much time.
Yeah, I think that's all we got for that part. But there was a question in the Discord, a little fun thing, usually happens every offseason. Blake asked, make a roster of current players. I'm just gonna say, make the best team out of current players that don't
Oh
include
God.
Froyo players.
Oh
And
man.
current
So
players will say people who've played this last season, right?
so a
Gotta be
Froyo
fair.
Slayer. So make a Froyo Slayer. Okay.
I don't like how that is because then people get upset.
Yeah. I
You can't
mean,
beat Froyo.
yeah.
I'm
Shut
just
up.
trying to have fun here.
Yeah. You motherfuckers try to just beat Froyo. Yeah. Like I
No,
don't
but
see you guys. I don't see
all
you
right.
guys up here.
Do we want to make an agreed one or do you want to make
We
separate
can we can
ones?
we can do an agreed one. We
Okay,
can kind of like
so
agree on players.
I think 2 people that have to 100% be on this team: Slender Sailor, Slender Scampy.
Oh, free.
There's no way you can
Free.
have anyone else on that team.
Yeah, there's no way. Like those are like guaranteed. Like you
Best
need
in
those two
class, you
players. Dude.
can't get anyone else. And so you have a scout, you have a demo, medics.
You
Would
have
you rather
Wall Guy.
have Low Guy, Cookie, or Bear. I think those are the top threes you could probably.
Yeah, those are Law guys. I mean, I think that Bear is obviously more experienced, but I think potential wise, Law guy
I
just through the roof.
I think I'd honestly want Cookie. I don't know. Logai's really good, but
Yeah.
Logai plays really passive, and although sometimes you may be saved by it, but I think I'd probably want Cookie because Cookie'd go in a lot more. He has a
Okay.
lot of experience. I don't know. You can
Yeah, I
if you
could
want to
agree
make a
with you there.
separate team and you want Logai, I'll take Cookie. I think Cookie
If
probably would
if
be a
you
good
well,
fit.
if you're talking like next season, yeah, I could see you with Cookie
And
Jake
Cookie
as the
brings the
meta.
vibes. Cookie
Yeah,
kind of brings some vibes.
Cookie Jake's, I'm definitely, closer with Cookie Jake. I've met him before. He's a cool dude, real chill, funny guy. I think that Cookie Jake if you want to make a team for next season with like immediate players like ready to go, like who are ready and warmed up, Cookie Jake's a great option. I could agree with you there. Low guy definitely like obviously second, but Cookie Jake is definitely in the experience factor. He's up there.
The thing is, I think so. Would you rather have Slem on combo or flank? Because the potential scouts probably are.
Ooh,
So potential combo scouts, Brand Slam, Alpha. Who else even is there? I guess High Five. You could say.
yeah.
Are there any other like
Uh,
combo scouts that could fit? Because I think you just need a combo scout who's going to play safe, give you the guaranteed stuff, and let Slem work on flank, and it's
I mean,
the
if
other
you
way
need, I mean,
around.
if you need like consistency stuff, I mean, if you're looking for like playoff level, you have High Five, you have Brand Slam now, you have Alpha, you have Phelps. I guess you have myself. You have, I mean, you could argue Shamu,
I
but
don't think so anymore.
I think probably like you have Yite as well. You can't forget Yite, and you can put Slemnish on combo. I think that probably Yite Slemnish just based off like their synergy together. They've played, at Insomnia together. I think Yite and Slem is a really good combo, and I think Slemnish, now that he like really understands how to play, combo scout, doing it for like a season or two on Ascent now, from when he had Yite on his team, I think that Yite would probably be the best scout. But if you want to put a combo scout, I think there's too many like high level combo scouts in the pool that you could pick from. I think that having Slemnish on it and then Yite's probably the best flank scout out there that isn't on a team right or that that could probably fit on a Froyo-slayer right now. I would probably say Slem and Yite,
Uh,
unless you have another opinion.
I don't know. The thing is, I don't know if there's many combo scouts that will just let the flank do the work. Because the thing about Brand Slam is Brand Slam's pretty aggro. He likes taking trades, doing all that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like a combo scout who would literally just play the role. Thing that Yite did really well is he just played his role. He let Slem be combo and then do flank stuff if he wants, and then he's just
Mhm.
there as second scout, which is a really good fit, like you said. I don't know if there'd be anyone that really fits much better.
I mean, if you're looking just for that combo scout anchor, I mean, a lot of the ones are just hyper aggressive.
Yeah, it's
Slemish,
just TF2 now.
yeah, it's just
Combo scouts are usually the aggro. Flank scout play a lot more passive.
yeah,
Other flank scouts you could have.
really just high five and
I
honestly high five.
I think Yite. Yeah, I think Yite
I
Slem would be
think
the
Yite's
combo.
the best
The
bet.
scout combo. Yite plays a really good. He's really good as the second scout. He does what Slem you need him to do.
Before we
He'll do
lock
that.
in Yite, do you want Slemnish on combo scout or do you want him on flank scout for this roster? Like, or would you rather see him,
I
on
don't
his
think there's a combo scout that would be complement Slem very well on flank at least. Because the thing is, Corsa was such a good compliment because he did everything I said. He just plays heals, he does the right plays, and he makes sure your med lives. But there's no more Corsa, so I think Slem has to play combo.
God damn it, Corsa. All right, so we'll lock in Yite there. So soldiers
I
who,
have a sleeper on Soldier. You
oh
can.
God,
I think you gotta have Laz, right?
of course,
You gotta have Laz.
I
So
gotta have
I have
last.
a sleeper on Soldier. I know
It's not
everybody thinks I'm
you.
saying. You think I'm not gonna
I'm
say
thinking
myself
you're
because I'm
saying
not playing
yourself.
next season. I'm not gonna say myself.
I
I've
mean,
said
you're an
myself
active
for too many
player.
things.
You're an
I'm not
active
active
player.
anymore. But I have a pick. I got a pick.
I mean, it's either I feel like right now you have Ash, you have you have bot mode, you have Zilly, Dunbar. Honestly, Chang can do it. Chang played really good this season. Chang also has played on land. You have, you know. couple. I mean, if you're trying to find some Div 1 talent, I'm sure you got some people down there. Who's your sleeper? You have aim.
It's not
A-
much of a sleeper, to be honest. It's Ash. I think
oh, what?
Ash. I thought you were gonna pick bot mode instantly, but I think
No.
Ash provides a lot of calm help. Because I think the problem with the team like that is there's no. Because like last season, I think the callers were like Slam. What I heard, bot mode really didn't feel comfortable calling a lot of times. So I think a player like Carter's gonna provide, or Ash, gonna provide a lot of consistency. He's gonna help out. He's gonna do what needs to be done. He knows how to play pocket. He'll be able to take the back seat for Slem and Campy to really take over, and he'll just do whatever needs to be done. He'll call. He's good at coordinating. I think he'd be a great fit with Laz. He'd
So
help Laz coordinate where maybe he doesn't do as well with that.
one more thing. I mean, I do agree with you on Ash. What about Scion Soldier?
No,
No, you don't like.
you need to build a team around Sai. I don't think Sai can fit because he
Yeah.
takes so many heals, and if you have Slem and Campy, that's not gonna work.
Yes, that makes
There's
sense.
too many heals to go around. It wouldn't work. And the game, every Sai team has to play so slow. I think you need to turn up the pace on that team,
Yeah,
and that team would be so good at turning up the pace.
I agree. I like this. I think this is a really solid team. I think this is a team that obviously can, tango with Froyo, take a couple rounds off of maybe a map. I mean, I think that Slem and Yite, they've played for a while with each other. Yite plays his role really good. Slemnish, plays combo Sky really good. Campy's just an overall just stupid consistent demo man, and is probably the only one in NA at least. I'm not too sure what the EU demos look like. Who even like come close to a Beebs level. And obviously, Cookie Jake, just a super consistent medic. Has been around, one invite, world championship player. Laz, second in II series, was second in NA multiple times. And Carter's just, former Froyo player, world champion as well. I mean, you have
Also,
some.
one thing, the vibes on this ascent were in the dumpster. This team,
Oh, yeah.
Yite, Ash, Cookie, they're
These are
bringing
all
that shit
boys.
up.
These are all
They're
boys
bringing
on
that.
this team.
People are staying in Mumble after scrims. That's what
Yeah.
you need. You need that bond.
Yeah, this is a get 5 vote against Froyo in regular season and laugh for an hour
Mm-hmm.
type team. Usually you get 5-0 and you're like, oh, I hate my life. I want to cut my team. I hate my life. I'm never playing TF2 again. I'm uninstalling. But
It
this is a
sounds like a
team.
personal experience.
But yeah, this is a team that gets 5-0 and they're hanging out after scrims, which is nice because they're all boys. Like you see this team, it's a boys team.
Okay, so we're running low on questions. If anyone has any in chat, ask them. I moved one from the
Yeah, make it
Discord.
quick, bro.
I got one from Discord
You gotta get some questions in here.
from Weebwhacker. Who do you want to see moving up from invite to up to invite from Div 1? Okay.
Oh god, yeah, that was worded weird.
I know. I thought it
Uh,
was from invite to Div 1.
Yeah,
Who do you want
I
to see
was
get
like, yeah.
moved down?
Micro.
I think the
Wait,
obvious teams are the top two.
Sin Karma, baby.
Sin
Sin
Karma.
Karma.
I think the Dippity team definitely should move up. What other teams were there? So there was the
Lofu
Alex team,
March,
which is
Kron's
off
Realm.
classes.
Yeah, that
Bronze
team
Realm, I could
wouldn't
see
play.
them trying to make invite because I think everyone thought they were probably gonna. I think most people thought they were maybe gonna win the season. I don't know. I'm not in the know with Div 1 as much as I used to. So, but I think they could, if it was possible. I'd like to see. I don't know if there's enough teams to have like a cup, how EU does it, where it's like invite qualification cup. You get a bunch of teams. Whoever wins the cup moves up. Top 2 teams, top 1 teams, whatever you need.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm still looking. No real questions in the chat. I mean, other than that, I guess we could kind of run it. I mean, there's honestly not much left besides question time, but I think we can kind of run it towards the outro here. I mean, what I want to say first is just everyone, thank you for the super support that we've been getting on this podcast. This was kind of just like I said, built on like a 2-hour notice, and was kind of just an idea we ran from because I know Marmaloo was going to be doing his YouTube series, is a classic Excel spreadsheet on Google
It can't.
Docs.
It doesn't fail.
It never
always works.
fails. It's worked every time. The consistency is too good.
We didn't go over this. I didn't bring it up. I beat
Oh.
you in the team power rankings. I got almost all of them right.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I got
Yeah,
almost
you
all of
did.
them right.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I switched up too. I switched up.
You
to
also
Ashi
took
and
my
Dexter's
sleeper.
lab.
You would have probably won if you
Dude,
didn't take my
that was
sleeper.
so 3.
That's
Yeah,
my
I probably
that's
would have.
my sleeper. I wanted
If I
Ryan
swap
dive.
my If I
I thought.
swapped it, we would have tied. If I swapped it, we tie there.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah,
We tie there.
but I win
Damn.
because you tried to
Damn.
steal my sleeper pick, and that's what you get.
Damn. Damn. It's sad. But anyways, we had a really good feedback. Obviously, everyone really liked our casting too, which was really cool. I didn't really see myself as like a caster. I just wanted to do it for fun. I thought it'd be funny just, cast and watch TF2 and say funny things every now and again that people will laugh at. But you guys actually really we've been getting only good feedback, which is awesome. So people were saying like me and Marmo were like the best casting duo in like years, which is pretty crazy to think about. So that's awesome. So we definitely see the feedback and appreciate it. But in terms of the podcast, we're not too sure where it's heading, just because I might be playing next season. I know Marmaloo's not, so it's kind of be like who's gonna, carry the torch at that point if we're gonna, decide to do it if Marmaloo has time with school and my work's coming back up. So if we eventually, if I go back to regular hours, I'm working till 9 or 8 o'clock on Sundays. So
Yeah, if I
it's gonna be
can't get
weird.
someone else, because doing this without anyone would be really awkward.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
it'll
I
be
don't know
rough.
who I could get that isn't playing next season, because playing and doing this is obnoxious.
Yeah, agreed.
So I
I'm
don't know.
shocked you still did this when you joined Dorsey. I thought you were done.
So
I
I
thought you were
wanted to
leaving me
commit
in
to
the.
that. I thought that would be a fun me play demo, but it was not a fun me play demo. But
You got scammed, bro.
I did get scammed. But if not, I'll probably make stuff on my channel or something, and then I'm
Yeah,
probably gonna cast matches if I have time, because it's not much of a commitment. But
yeah.
we'll see.
Casting's just like once a week, twice a
It's
week.
like a
Usually, it's
2 hour
not
thing, 1 hour,
crazy.
2 hour thing.
Yeah. But I mean, guys, for the meantime, the podcasts are gonna be put on hold. It was an awesome experience, kind of running this podcast. It really feels like that in content creation, me and Marmaloo were holding the stake of competitive content creator. Like we had everything. You needed competitive TF2 content, you're coming here. No one else really had it, which was kind of cool to think about. So hopefully next season we can try and keep this going. Um, other than that, thank you guys for all the the feedback and the constructive criticism you guys give. We definitely see on the TFTV threads in the Discord. You guys praise our casting, which is pretty cool. So hopefully maybe one day we'll be back on this podcast, but for right now we're not going to be going live with anything either until when the season starts, or it may be put off hold until further notice if I end up playing and Marmaloo can't find a replacement for me or vice versa. But other than that, do you have any other closing statements for the little family we built in our little Discord that has a little over like 80 members or something like that?
Shout out, and yeah, I don't think there's anything else. I think we're done. I think eventually everything will be uploaded to YouTube. So if you're behind, you can catch up. And it's kind of useless now because it already all happened. So you kind of already
Yeah,
know what's happening. But
yeah.
if you want to see what happened in the past,
It's like a
or
little
the future,
time capsule.
it is. You
You,
can
you
see
just
me
go
being
back and be
wrong
like, damn.
every week in the power
You could be like,
rankings.
you could be like, damn. How did season 3 of RGL end? And just watch every episode on Netflix.
Yeah, in like 10 years, people will watch it and be like, wow, that's crazy, bro.
Well, my only other shout out is Dolphin. This guy is a madman. Like I said, take the survey on RGL. Let this man let him get some bread, dude. Raise the league fees for $5 for every team, and then just give Dolphin the profit for those $5 made. Like this guy actually puts so much work. Because right after this, he probably has to stream something. I know tomorrow, he has a Highlander match, and then this is like his only like little vacation. So definitely, the producers, the cameramen have the hardest jobs. But we're going to close it out, guys. Again, thanks for watching. We appreciate all the support we had throughout this podcast. Follow our Twitters. I know Marmaloo posts dog pictures, which
I
is
don't have
pretty
my
cool.
dog, so there's no dog pictures, but I don't post
Well,
on there. But, join the Discord. Maybe we'll announce something at some point. But
true.
we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll try and get. I have an idea for something. Maybe if I want to keep doing this, but we'll see.
All right, boys. thanks for watching. We'll probably be on some casts in the future, so it's definitely not dead in that regard. But the podcast for right now, until further notice. But yeah, man, we'll see you guys in the future one day.
Goodbye.